You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Yo, what's up? Happy Monday. Is it Monday? Yeah, it's Monday.
It is Monday.
All right, so
here.
we've got a
And
little
Mariano's
surprise. Yes, we
A
do have a
living
little surprise.
legend of the comics industry.
This was a last-minute constructed thing, like so many things in my life. Yeah, right, Stevie B? So Mariano, so I didn't explain it well, right? So I told Mariano, and then he yelled at me and said, well, you didn't explain it right. I go, of course I didn't explain it right. I never pretended to be an artist. So I said, I threw down the gauntlet and said, oh, yeah, I didn't explain it right. Why'd you come on the show and explain it for us, Mariano Nicieza?
See, I explained it right because I always pretend to know about comics.
Yes, and we all know you don't. We didn't start the show yesterday. Buddy.
First of all, do I look like a guy that yells at people? Come on now.
Okay.
Come on now.
And then he comes in the room snapping on his black latex gloves. And John and I are sitting there like, whoa, yo. Need to see some sort of board certified something or another, right?
You know what? Apparently, I need to read the Dynamite HR manual way much more closely.
See? Page 52. Okay.
Yikes.
Second paragraph. Read it. Hey, Tacoma Geek, what's going on, buddy? Hey, I read your email. I hope everything's okay, buddy. Preston, what's going on?
Stevie B, you're right. If he's like one ski mask away from knocking over a bank with like Ben Affleck in Boston.
I didn't notice that until he snapped on the black latex gloves with a black turtleneck.
That's right.
Dude.
That's right.
If you're in the chat, we'll need you to turn your head and call.
If you are in a room and a man comes in dressed like that, snapping latex gloves, and then closes the door, you should be nervous. Piece of
when
advice.
they start that stuff, it's good for your health. No, I'll take the
I'm all right.
alternative.
I'll die.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Alternative.
I'll take that.
I'm not a good run.
Ryan, what's going on, buddy? All right, so Mariano is going to. So we're going to devote at least the first part of this show for Mariano to explain what he's going to do.
I'm going to try not to make it painful. I'm going to try to make it fun.
And then the second half of the show will be Robbie Sniffer
nice
at
if
the
you did that
weekend.
at the office every day. I'm just saying. But so since we had a piece on, and I tried to explain it, it was definitely lost, and then the camera didn't.
Yeah, I don't think we kind of.
Yeah, we were bad at it. We were really bad because,
work.
I at least am honest. I don't pretend to be an artist.
You keep
I
honest with customers? What are you, crazy?
So that's how you survive the food business all those years.
When he tells
Try it, you'll like it. Well, you don't like
when
it too
he
bad.
tells these young artists, submit something. That's his nice way of saying, you're not going to make it in this
sometimes
business.
hear Mariano talking to young artists that are trying to get a foot in the business. And I'm going to tell you right now, Mariano Nicieza should never be anywhere near suicide hotline work. Right now, okay? All right? I'm not even an artist, and I listen to his conversations, and I want to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge at
If
the
a
end of it.
publisher had a gun to your dog's head, that wouldn't get published, kid. I'm telling you now. He hangs up the phone.
Dude, he makes it seem like
this is brutal. This is
dragging bricks to build a pyramid.
The idea here is to have a welcoming environment, to want me to come back.
Welcome, Mariano.
This is welcome.
I'm getting trashed. It hasn't even been 5 minutes.
Ask Robbie. Ask Robbie.
It hasn't even been 5 minutes.
I want you to ask Robbie. This is the way we treat everybody.
Robbie, I'm not even going to put you on the spot like that.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it's true. Unfortunately, that's just Rex's personality.
Well, if you see the way Robbie's approach to layering a collage, it's nothing on nothing on nothing, and just an excuse that we don't have the cover. So, it's like the Invisible Woman in a snowstorm or something.
He's got the invisible woman in the store. He's got the Invisible Woman, the Invisible Man down pat.
The best answer I heard to somebody trying to break into the business with art, like 3 or 4 Sundays ago, I'm part of Jim Steranko's thing on Twitter for chat, and he said, depending on how bad the art is, I tell them, don't quit their day job, don't quit their day job and night job, or don't quit their day job, night job, and side hustle.
Basically, I can boil it down.
I have to jump in.
That's brutal.
And this is off topic because we're going to be talking about collage. But when it comes to submitting material for comic book publishing, it behooves you not to send pinups and covers, but to actually show an editor that you can tell a story. So show 4 pages, 6 pages of panel-to-panel storytelling. That's all I'm telling these guys.
And don't email it or
Don't quit any of their
Dropbox it.
jobs, according to Mr.
Mariano feels that you should carry it to the office only when it's snowing, raining, earthquake, or other natural disaster.
Why?
Okay?
Why?
I've explained
Why
to
this-
writers at cons.
Why this abuse?
I've
Why?
explained to writers at cons the best way for you to get your pitch shot down. Don't go to the middleman. Forget the editor. I just go to Nick's office and he tells me he's not doing the comic I asked for, and the conversation is done. No hopes and dreams. It's just not happening. Close the door on my way out. Yes, sir.
So first of all, I have to say, Mariano, I mean, it's not like you just met me. We've known each other for quite some time.
Sadly.
So you
Go
say
ahead,
he's
keep going.
old
I'm not
as
sure
well.
why this all comes as a surprise to you right now. That part, is concerning to me. I mean,
I hope for the best. I always, and now I'm getting the worst.
this is the best. You should know that. You
He's
know
a
me.
living legend in this industry. They won't even remember us as a footnote.
Well, I will say this.
Please.
Okay.
Please.
I will say this, Robbie. Mariano, at his age, has a full head of hair. So
At his age,
I would seek to speak to Mariano.
he's a
as
medical
mentor
marvel to be
for
above
your
ground.
clerical needs.
We'll share a product list, Mariano.
Yes, you definitely want it from him. Okay. All right. So I want to say this: that all this has happened, and none of us had a drink at all yet. No, maybe John.
I left the bar where the Phillies game was on to do this.
I know I need one about now.
Oh, wait till the end, my friend. Okay, you'll be shooting up heroin by the time I'm done. Oh my God.
Collage. I had a brilliant inspiration that this has never been done before. Collage on sketch covers. And in case folks are not, I brought some samples for everybody. In case you're not familiar with what I'm talking about,
Got
Jack
the Mariano
Kirby,
cam up.
Yeah,
So,
we
just so
got
you know.
Mariano
is this,
cam up.
is
So you
this
don't have to hold anything
right
up.
side, upside down.
All right, now you're asking for too much
No,
help.
hold on.
Oh, and for Robbie, these here are what you use to draw with. So,
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, John,
well, I
for
thought
your
maybe
valuable insight.
at this point I will send him pens if he does the cover.
I do
Oh,
need
my
some
God.
more. I do need
Wait.
some. I do need some brush pins, John.
I'm
So.
gonna show different examples, but you
Dude,
get the
hit me
idea.
up to the Amazon wish
Artwork
list. I
on
got you.
photographs.
I have a funny feeling. I'm predicting that somehow Robbie's going to say that package was lost by the U.S. Postal Service.
No, it's Amazon's fault. He just chucked it and drove off when I was in Louisville.
All right, so Mariano did a Black Panther one with a collage, and it jumped out at me as I was flipping through the books because of the realism of the leaves. And I got to go and find it. I was going to find that, and I lost track of time for that. All right, so Mariano tried to explain it to me, but then, like so many things that Mariano tries to explain to me, after the 4th or 5th word, it turns into blah 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 blah. So I kind of stopped paying attention, right? And then he started using diagrams and notes, and I'm just like, dude, I can't even. I got to go get a cup of coffee. I never returned from the kitchen.
While he's attempting to entertain, I'm showing actual examples from Jim Steranko, Jack Kirby of collage work. This is how
I thought it was never done before.
it was never done before in sketch covers.
Sketch covers.
That's the new breakthrough.
Ah,
You see where I'm going with this?
I do. Cancer cure tomorrow, but
Maybe.
today,
Maybe.
Just so you know, this is a collection of comic books.
just so
comic
you know,
books
those
are what we
belong to
make here.
Mariano. You cannot take them at the end of the show. Just warning you ahead of time.
Oh, I bet I can.
That's between you and Mariano. my
John,
friend.
if you take any of those comics, please send that Treasury Edition 2001 my way. Oh my goodness.
These are all from
We'll
the
break up the
Mariano
swag.
What do
personal
you need that
library.
for, Robbie? You're
Oh, in that
drawing your
case-
own comics now.
It's only fun to take next stuff.
Right. Only take Mr. Barucci
It's
stuff.
only
Leave Mariano stuff. That's the way to go.
Besides, if I was going to take anything, it would have been the Star Trek stuff. You
So you guys are getting an idea. These masters used to figure out ways to blend photography with artwork, and not being one to pass on a trend, back in the late 80s, early 90s, I did the same thing with some graphic novels. I kind of did the reverse, where I had photography with drawn backgrounds, but it's something I've kind of dabbled with for my entire career.
Tacoma, it is cool to see the guy whose books you've been buying. I apologize, he's not better looking, but that's really because of his parents.
I like this. Apparently, somebody asked who the guest was tonight, and Jay responded with Fabian Nicier's much younger brother. Much younger.
I love that. I love that. And when you see him at conventions, say that to him too, because he loves it too.
Mention the hair. He hates that.
The hair. I don't want to get thrown out of the con.
Oh, John, don't worry about
How
it.
come Mariano has so much hair? Security.
Actually, I was talking to Howard Mackey over the weekend, and he confessed to me that when he sees my brother Fabian at conventions, he always goes up behind the table, even though he's got a long line of people, goes behind the table and kisses him on his bald forehead.
Oh, no.
So there.
That really sounds like
Wow,
a teaser.
I have no response. This is like the first time ever. I really have no response to that.
Which one the Silver Surfer, Tacoma?
This is the Silver Surfer.
Oh, okay, there we go.
That's the one I'm going to work on live for you.
And it will be for sale.
Last example, yes.
Okay,
it
will be for sale.
So there's a book I produced, God Woke. It was a Stan Lee poem that
Kirby Crackle.
Fabian and I converted into a graphic novel, and I blended what Jack Kirby used to do in the late 60s, early 70s. I blended a lot of artwork in his style with photography. And he used to do it by cutting stuff out with a pair of scissors, and it was black and white material.
Oh.
With the advent of computers, we can now do stuff in full color. See how that works?
I'm sorry,
cool.
you went over the fifth word, so it turned
Did I
into
lose
blah, blah,
you?
blah.
Did
Just
I lose
smile
you
and
at
nod.
Advent?
Hey, Lyle, what's up? So we got Mariano
Society
Nicier's as our guest.
Oh, go ahead.
Guest tonight, so just letting everybody know. And so we are on the Mariano cam as he's explaining to us how the collage came to being and how he has incorporated it into cover sketches.
That's fabulous.
Last
Thank
week
you.
we kind of didn't
Thank you.
explain it very well, probably because we didn't understand it very well.
That's probably it. And between two of us, we're really not that smart. I mean, come on. It's us.
Yeah, last week John and Rex had everybody basically thinking you were doing some kind of ceremonial magic trick or something to make the foliage appear.
Hey, how do you know it's not, Robbie? A wand could show up at any point here, okay? You haven't seen the entire presentation.
I'll tell you, this one Nick Fury cover by Steranko is about as close to magic trick as I get.
Actually, I'm going to bring it back.
It's a disappearing magic trick.
If anyone has seen anything, this is the one that's been reproduced and copied the most.
Yeah.
But people probably don't realize that this is actually collage material back there, cutouts that he did.
When I was a kid, people used to stare at that under black light to get dizzy.
Nice.
That was like the sort
Nice.
of. That was like the comic book story.
All right, I'm going to dive right in. The idea here is I'm going to color the Silver Surfer and some of the stuff around him traditionally, and then I'm going to come in with some cutout elements to create a collage piece out of this.
And
That's
just so you
cool.
know, that Mariano's sort of acted as the unofficial art instructor for Miss Amy too.
Oh yeah.
So because she showed
didn't
interest.
she did not need my help. She went off in her own direction and did her own thing.
He's hedging his bets.
I'm just saying, she's an independent artist who did her
Did
thing.
you tell her the story? Probably not.
The
See, how I can't
Right?
draw. I think we're
She
gonna start.
still comes in here, smiling. So I got to imagine she had not had the artist starting out speech with.
See, so I can't draw. We're gonna start doing recipe covers, where it'll just be blank cover right out a recipe for something I make.
I am going to stick to my guns, right?
I sent Jay a picture of a burger I did because Robbie was doing burgers. Yeah, Robbie was doing
How did
burgers.
we go from hopefuls wanting to submit their artwork for comics to burgers?
Because
How did that happen?
you know why? Because a burger can actually be made. A hopeful can't get into the industry. And from what I understand, you make that eminently clear, sir, when they contact you.
All I am making clear is the steps they should take to get their work noticed. That's
All 4,062 of them.
No, but the truth is, that's actually, all jokes aside, we're having a lot of fun here. But
speak for yourself.
Rex and I are having a lot of fun with Mariano.
Much better.
But the truth is, people there are people who legitimately are like, this is how I want to make my living. And I know from people wanting to break into cooking, there are times where you have to say someone, I literally had to do this today at a friend's restaurant. No, this is not good. This will not make money. This will not impress people. And to be able to explain it in a better way like Mariano does, where he kind of explains, I need to see this, I need to see that.
Otherwise known as squashing people's dreams.
Yeah, but at least he's doing it in a gentlemanly fashion.
Oh, he does. And
I literally just pushed the plate away, and I'm like, no.
He likes using big words. I'm not sure. It must be the writer part of it, but I'm not really sure how it makes it. So I just stabbed you with a fancy sword as opposed to a blunt instrument.
No, the truth is, though, when I was a young cook, I wish I had someone take the time to break it down to me the way Mariano does with art. All I got was, kid, you can't cook. Thanks. And that doesn't...
I thought your dad was in the business, so your dad told you that?
Yeah. That was my dad.
That sounds like a deeper problem than just being a chef, I think.
You know, even in my industry, even as a comic book retailer, I have to tell people all the time, you don't have basic math skills and you don't know how to do the alphabet. So this is probably not the job for you.
Yeah.
I was going to laugh if Robbie says being a comic artist, because we're still waiting on that one.
I explained before, being artisticness is like, it has to come to him. It has to, like he just can't decide to be.
Well, I hope it comes to him before I die.
No, but I mean, seriously, you can't be creative on demand, which I guess is almost antithetical to the comic book industry.
You, sir, have not really talked to Mr. Mariano Nicieza.
Oh, I'll tell you, though, his honesty is refreshing. Because, like I said, today I had to tell someone, I'm sorry, this Thai peanut pizza is not going to make
Ew.
This person was there, I've spent weeks developing this. And I'm like,
what would they drinking in? Can we get some? Because when that seems like a good idea, because look at Scotch. Scotch is such a great alcoholic beverage that somebody decided, hey, let's wear skirts and no underwear. It'll be cool. Trust me. Okay.
One is connected with the other. But no, Robbie's a good point too. As a comic retailer, the person has to have some pretty solid basic communication skills. Any retail point of sale, they have to be outgoing. So if someone is sullen and quiet and introverted, probably at the register of a comic book store on Wednesday is not the place where they should be.
Right.
Which means, not to be unkind, but Robbie or any of the other people, Miss Jen, they can't use that person. You know what I mean? They need the math skills. They need to be relatively trustworthy. They need to be a little bit savvy too, because Robbie decides he wants to run out and get a sandwich, or Miss Jen has errands to run and she wants to pick up a book. She doesn't want her store to come back, in flames, like it's been ransacked. So,
well, there you go. Sleep well tonight, Robbie.
No, Robbie knows what I mean. You just have to have a little bit of a skill set to do this stuff.
All right. So while Mara's working on that, let's get through a few books, and then we have to go to our first break in not too long. The Silver Surfer, the Doctor Strange, will be for sale. All right, and Big John, what's up, bud? All right, so here we go. Starting from the top, as always, we have the Dynamite 10-pack reader set. 10 random Dynamite titles. Cover price of $3.99 or higher. So $40 retail, and we've got it, as always, for $5. All right, then we have the Dynamic Forces Grab Bag 3-pack. 3 random titles. Mostly DC and Marvel titles with a few indies sprinkled in there. And we've got that for $5. Then we've got Dynamic Forces Grab Bag 7-pack. 7 random comics, mostly DC Marvel with a few indie. And we've got that for $10. Then we have the Dynamic Forces Grab Bag 15-pack. Again, random titles, mostly Marvel DC with a few indies. And we've got that for $20. All right, so was Ron in the house? Anybody see? Ron was in the house? I don't know. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start with our sketch covers, and let's see what we got there. What did Marcus every Wednesday. Yep. There you go. All right. So first up, we got Spider-Man #1, Legacy number 157, signed with Spider-Man cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $149.99. It is a Frank Miller homage, and we've got it tonight for $62.
Yeah, I was about to be like, I recognize that. That's this Frank Miller one. Heck yeah.
Yep.
Actually, there's a story behind that graphic. That was I commissioned that when I was an editor at Marvel. I commissioned that from Frank Miller. We were doing a special series of hardcover books that collected bodies of work from famous people. Now, of course, Frank Miller is best known for Daredevil, but he had done a ton of Spider-Man work. So I gave him a call, and he was surprised. We were gathering all this Spider-Man stuff, and he volunteered to do a new cover. So that was a 1995 take on Spider-Man from Frank Miller, who had done the work in the 80s.
So Tacoma picked up one. I don't know if you've had it on the show. Maybe you picked it up on the website.
I think you've had one before.
Okay, we might have.
That one right there, Mariano?
Yeah, there it is.
There you go. Although no, that's a reprint. The original was like 800 print run total.
Oh,
it was
nice.
a hardcover, and that was a wraparound slip cover.
There it is, right there. That's the
There
image.
you go.
Right?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
And it was actually landscape. So Spider-Man in full color was on one side of the wraparound, and then there you go, like that. Except there was a slip cover.
That's cool.
So we have.
Congratulations to John Spilius, real quick. They're increasing his presence at his store.
Oh, nice. That's awesome, Big John. Very happy to hear that, bro.
Absolutely no one is surprised that Robbie has all this stuff within arm's reach.
I'm a mark for Frank Miller. I mean, we all know that, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this is available tonight for suggested retail. We had it at $149.99. We actually had an introductory price for a little while of $99.99. Tonight on the XP, we got it for $62. All right, next up, Invincible Iron Man number 600, signed with Loki, Iron Man, Hulk cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Suggested retail of $149.99. We have it tonight for $89.99. So, Mar, what was the inspiration here?
Avengers #1.
Multiple inspiration. Yeah, it was really Avengers #1. We've got the new Loki show that's airing on Disney. So Jack Kirby for Iron Man. Not sure where Loki came from. Mike Mignola for Hulk. And then just kind of put the whole composition together.
That's very cool. I mean, to have that kind of ability to do that, channel multiple artists on one cover, that's pretty cool.
Well, it's us, because we can't do it.
That's true.
All right, so we have this available for $89.99. Suggested retail of $149.99. All right, next up. Now, this is a guy. Now, so not only does he do the art, he does the sketch covers, handles a whole bunch of other things, but he's also in charge of finding new artists who can do the sketch cards and can do sketch covers and maybe work for Dynamite, and also so he can depress them to the point where they have to take meds every week. So we have Uncanny Avengers #1, signed with Vision cover sketch by someone that Mariano discovered, Paul Maitland, and I love his work.
Wow.
$149.99 suggested retail. We've got this one for $75.
Very talented artist, Paul Maitland.
I love his stuff. It was one of those deals when Mariano finds new artists, gives them some blank covers, gets some of the sample work in, and then he lays them out. And then we look at them, and it's like shopping at the candy store.
That's a nice wand.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, Mariano's had to turn some down, and man, some of them were bad. I'm not gonna lie.
If you're one of the bad ones that are listening, I'm sorry.
Oh man. Yeah, don't call Mariano again. It won't go well for you.
Yeah, he said, is Robbie taking notes for the cover? Yeah, Robbie's not calling Mariano. He knows that much right now.
Next time we'll see Robbie. His hair will be undone and not coiffed.
He'll have a box full of art supplies to throw out the dumpster.
You know, his beard will be all scraggly and stuff. You know, he look like he hadn't showered in days. We'll have the bourbon bottle just swinging right here. Hey, what do you guys want? Well, happy Monday. Let's do the show.
We're having a lot of fun, but when we come back from our break, talk a little bit about Robbie had another one of those weekends that most comic book fans would kill for, or horror fans for that matter. Robbie, I'll let him tell this when we come back from the break, met a bunch of very cool people.
And he'll tell us how they all smell.
Also, apparently, if you followed Robbie on Facebook, he's dating Fiona Dourif now. No, the funny thing was...
Wow, you and Travis Kelce, you guys are so hip.
I know, right? I was watching an episode of Chucky. It was like a very Fiona Dourif heavy episode. I paused it. I let the dog out while she was playing. I opened my phone, and there's Robbie with Fiona at the con. And I'm like, man, the timing of that is just like seriously.
Just wanted to compliment her on how she smelled. That was all. There's nothing going on there.
If you see her performance in the show, it's very almost like Orphan Blacklight. The Blacklight, she's doing multiple characters, and she's sort of channeling her father's voice. Right. For people that are into Child's Play and Chucky, she sort of took the performance level there, just like Jennifer Tilly did. They kind of lifted it from a doll running around killing people with a funny voice to they took it to a much deeper creative story. All right. I think people realize.
All right, so we're going to go to break. We'll do a quick recap. Hey, Lars, man, when we get back, and then we will hear what Robbie's weekend was like. Hey, Amy.
Hey, how many people have hit thumbs up?
Oh,
not enough of them, and you've made her angry.
If Amy's in here.
People need reminders. They need reminders of a lot of things. Whether it's
what else?
Hitting the like button or turning in their form.
There it is.
Saying.
I knew that was coming.
I say, if I hit the Mega Millions, I would hire
people don't do it, and
dude, I'm going to turn this into a March of Dimes commercial.
Try to ask nicely. Do I not
please,
ask nicely enough?
Please,
you
turn
are
in
the
your
milk of
submission
kindness.
form.
If you don't want to get your comics in 9 pieces, you better have filled out that form.
Please fill out your submission forms, or Amy will
send
hurt
you
us.
a page at a time of a key con.
Okay.
Wolverine #1 cover. Shh. Here's your cover, sir.
So I'm just saying, please turn your submission forms, or Amy will hurt us. Help us. Proof of life. All right, we'll be right back.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below. Why was Princess Zelda sad after watching a bunch of YouTube videos? She couldn't find the link in the description. We'll stop if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's super easy. Click subscribe and click the bell when you do. And thanks for supporting the EXP. Do you remember what it was like when you were a little kid and you got a letter in the mail? Now imagine that letter was filled with information about your favorite shows, pop culture questions, links to things you're going to want to see later, and even sneak peeks at upcoming programming here on The Experience. That's what the EXP mailing list is. Every week, we send you sneak peeks, information, and all of the relevant links for all of the shows you want to see. Sign up now on our website or scan the QR code that's on your screen right now.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wigline Show on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
All right, we are back. So let's do a real quick Rex cap. We didn't get too many books yet.
Hey,
All
before we get into that, Rex, I know you guys always give me this flack over those sketch covers that I haven't turned in yet. And I just want to like prove to people that, I mean, they'll be on their way, but here's something I did not too long ago of the Crow. So like,
dude,
I'm just saying, like,
why can you not do the sketch cover?
Because it's for you, Rex. That's why. How about that? Why don't you treat me a little bit better?
Cover.
Why don't you treat me a little bit better and see what happens? Maybe you'll get like 8 of them.
Sorry, I'm never gonna like the Cowboys.
All I know is I look on our shelves and I see
happen.
no trophies, and I look at Robbie's shelves and it's comics and trophies. So
And hair.
You know, we're not good. And hair. When the two of us are.
Is he paying you?
I can only. I'm just going by what I see.
During the course of a show, I noticed that.
What?
I said you do a lot of Robbie butt kissing during the course of the show.
No. I you know,
Butt kissing or truth? Which is it?
I was gonna say it's
artist. You're chained to your desk. Continue working. This is a sweatshop. Don't make me get the taser out.
I'll work faster.
It's not a sweatshop. Nick lets them have a break every 22 and a half hours.
And we have
like
air conditioning sometimes.
What?
We have air conditioning sometimes. So, if Ron orders that, then Robbie has a future. Too funny. All right. To the Rex cap, and we'll do the rest of sketch covers, and then we want to hear about Robbie's weekend.
Absolutely.
All right. So, as always,
while I do have more sketches in the trunk, that's funny.
All right. As always, Dynamite 10-pack reader set. Retail of $40 or higher, and we've got it, as always, for $5. Dynamite Dynamic Forces grab bag 3-pack. We've got that for $5. Dynamic Forces grab bag 7-pack. Got that for $10. And then, of course, we have the Dynamic Forces grab bag 15-pack, and we've got that for $20. All right. So sketch covers we did get to are Spider-Man #1, Legacy number 157, signed with Spider-Man cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza, who's sitting here right now. And Nick's got art.
Oh, would you like that colored, sir? I can have my guy color it right now for you.
He's got his markers out already, man.
Remember, Norman Osborn is the Golden Goblin now, so it's got to be gold.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Color.
That's nice.
Bagley? Is that Bagley?
Yes, it is.
You know what? I was just going to check with you. I was a little bit concerned. It's been 3 or 4 hours, and you haven't announced new comics you're doing. Is everything all right?
Everything's okay.
All right. And to Gotcha Large Man and Big John.
We're upgrading Thundercats to cardstock.
Mariana had a question.
Nice.
About it.
Yeah, we'll save it for offline.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know
okay.
if that's a question for the
So,
show.
Tacoma didn't get a chance to watch Friday's show.
All right, Tacoma, this one's for you, buddy.
Or, yeah, but, you know,
Or
Lars
for anybody, but.
So, that's original art, Mark Bagley. Got to put it down one more row. Behind the Punisher. Come on, you can do it, John.
Go, John, go. Go, John, go.
So,
I'm trying to be nice.
Oh,
I'm
Nick,
trying to be nice.
do we have a price or anything? Or
yeah, 500.
500. All right.
Needed to bring something affordable in for Tacoma.
All right. So
He got permission.
And yes, he did.
Oh, what is
So
this?
you want to put sideways here?
If we put this here.
Oh, awesome. No, yeah,
No.
So
Nice.
Discounted.
those are discounted. Which was this supposed to be?
Which one was it?
Nice, yes.
Nice, Jay.
We had that for
Look, Ma, no hands.
$69.19.
The funny thing is, nothing happened to it. But since I screwed it up, thank God for metal covers, right?
Yeah, right.
Now you know why Nick
That guy
invented metal covers.
Good thing nobody lost an arm with that metal cover flying around.
I know. Listen, the only indentation is right there. Look at that. That little dent on the backing board.
So this is the Vampirella Not
Sir, you
So
can't sell
Mystery
that. Why
Pack.
don't you just let me have that?
It was the Vampirella Mystery Pack, but now it's the Not So Mystery Pack.
It's not a mysterious pack
So we
anymore.
had it at $69.19, and what's the value?
$299.99.
We'll drop it down to 60.
I mean, in theory, they're priceless.
69.19.
All right,
That
so-
was for 1969. The
was,
first
it
one
was.
of Vampirella.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change that. That's like a brilliant
large
price.
man.
I dented the backing board slowly.
Somebody's going to have to replace the backing
Slightly.
board. That's got to be 70.
You got it, Lars, man.
You dropped
Wait.
Lars Man's comics.
No, Preston got it first.
Oh, did you?
Sorry,
Oh, he
yes,
did?
he did. Sorry, Lars, man. Preston beat you to it by like a millisecond, buddy.
That good spot, Nick. Yeah, I
I'm
didn't
sorry
know.
about that, bud. But if you want, I can probably get Nick to drop another mystery pack for you.
He's throwing stuff on the ground.
I am not dropping the Spider-Man miss. Oops.
No.
No, I already have that in
Do
the
we
title.
have-
But the other one, you're like, holy, hey, and you got this, and I'm like,
All seriousness.
well,
do we
not so
have-
mystery pack now.
Do we have another Vampirella pack we can put together for Lars Man?
Of course we can.
Why? Do you want to take it with you?
He doesn't
Lars,
look-
man, I can probably put another one together for you. I will attempt
It'll
to
be
do that.
different. It'll
Yeah,
be
I mean,
different
and-
before.
Yeah,
I
it
might
might be
be able to
Vampirella, but
reproduce
it
it.
won't be.
I might. Lars, man, let me look at it tomorrow morning, buddy. I got you, bud. All right, so Lars, man. And I'll drop it just to make sure you get the same price.
No, I was going to say, this one won't be dropped.
All right, so we leave off. Okay. So, cover
You guys
yeah.
like pressure?
No.
Why? You gonna like
I'm
hold
under
the
enough
Mariano's
pressure.
head or something while he's drawing? And like, draw it now.
Count backwards.
I want you to do the Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross thing.
Do
Rex,
which one
if
I
you get
close.
200 likes, you keep your job.
Lars,
Second place,
man, I got you. Move
Second
on to
place
the
for the
price,
steak
buddy.
knives.
dynamite steak knives.
Third place, you're fired.
You're fired.
I can't fire John. We don't pay him. Wah.
That would make me go back to reading Dark Horse. That'd be worse.
Look, my hands weren't so quick. I saw Vampirella and started typing plain. All right, I'm trying to pressure somebody, not in this office, in this room,
Oh,
to
okay.
do something
Okay.
for the fans out here.
Okay.
So
Well, this is very cryptic.
Is it a creator whose soul you own with a contract?
no.
Oh, I might have a bit. I might not understand how publishing works.
Everybody
after
hit that thumbs up.
Hit that thumbs up. So, Nick is going to leave it at that and leave us all guessing. All right. Yeah, Tacoma's cool, and that's why we invite him here.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of fun,
His
but
personality is a little dry, but you know, he is a very excellent artist and writer.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm sitting right here.
oh,
I'm
I'm
not-
right here.
Oh, that's
I
right.
can hear you.
Sorry,
you
I-
had to
you know,
make up
I
for
always got to remember, lips moving
If-
doesn't mean thinking
if
anymore.
you had to always compensate for a much older brother who hasn't quite reached his heights in the comic book
I didn't
world,
say that.
So terrible.
Are you
So
referring to
terrible.
yourself or him?
he's going to get a nasty message on his voicemail from his brother because of us.
My poor loving brother.
I'll see you out in the parking lot at the next con.
Mar, lose my number. Click.
Bring friends.
We were going to go see the movies. Now I've been uninvited.
Well, but yeah, a little bit. No,
Oh, a little bit more.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you.
Oh, I know that.
So Mariano worked on this.
I know that.
Oh,
That
But
has a lot of the sketch artists we've been
we
talking about.
have a premier artist whose first sketch card is in the box.
Ha! I know who you're talking about.
Well, yeah, you found them all. Of course you would. It's not like trivia contests, Mar.
I'm excited, though, because I know where he's going. This is truly exciting.
Amy Raniello's first
Oh,
published work.
so close.
So there's one card in the box random, and we have
Nice.
2 cards here.
Oh, TJ, that may be true, but that's not nice.
So here's the deal. If you buy a box which has 12 packs. It's $1,200. For our viewers, we'll bring it down to $1,000, and you will get one of the Amy Raniello cards as a bonus. We are not selling the Amy Raniello cards on their own. These are her first 3. These are her debut cards. So you only get one chance at a first. There's 12
I
of
was
these
going to
packs.
say you only get one shot at this.
It don't get no better.
So,
all right, there you go. So the Red Sonja card set with Amy sketch cards.
50th anniversary.
50th
Are there
anniversary.
any cosplay
Ultra
covers in this set?
premium trading cards.
and remember,
Are
on
there any
something
cosplay
like
covers
this,
in this set?
on something
Yeah,
like this,
great
20% down. The rest within 30 to 60 days is fine.
All right.
I was just going to ask you that because that's a little more than we usually sell stuff for on this show.
Right. The only thing we sell for that much is our souls.
TJ.
You know where
Yeah,
I'm at.
I know it's true, but it was still mean. Hurt me a little bit.
Nick employs the elderly because he's a good soul.
So doesn't explain why you're not working here.
I believe in
You
the
employ the
John
elderly.
Constantine method of selling your soul. Sell it to as many people as
As you-
possible, and they have to fight over it.
I have to fight over it. That's great.
Oh God, no perms and red pants. I had a perm once in my life. That's
Man,
enough.
I don't think there's anything you regret more than the perm, but mentioning the perm.
I was gonna say, trust me, the thing I regret the most was getting that perm.
Yeah,
Really?
well, that's got to be because at the core of everything, there would be no picture if you never got the perm, right? So
Remember what I always said. My friend who was good looking got it. He looked good with it.
Oh, and then you.
But anybody good looking will look good. It's like if he wore a pink suit, he would look good in it. If I wear a pink suit, I'd get beat up.
oh man,
Oh yes.
they're never losing it. They're never
See, that's
losing
the
it.
photo I want them to use when they put,
Was that young
Co-producer.
Nick Ferrucci?
Nick Ferrucci and then have that photo.
It wasn't
There's a
up
credit.
long enough.
That was
really didn't
before
get
I
a
sold
chance
my
to see
soul
it.
for the first time. I sold my soul to get my regular hair back.
Season 2 of Gen B, they have to get that picture in the yearbook for Godalkin University.
Let's not. Lars Man, the next Humble Bundle is probably a few months away, but between now and then, we have a special sale on Dynamite Digital for a Complete Boys series. So,
All right, cool. I saw Jay in the room. What's up, Jay?
Did I hear Mr. Mariano did not see that picture?
I
No, he
think
did not.
we should leave it up for a little while. I'm concentrating on drawing, so it's kind of wow.
We could email it to you if you'd like.
That would be wonderful. I think that belongs on social media. I feel like
I think that belongs on a sketch cover collage. Is what I
I
think.
think you're right.
Whoa,
I love that idea.
Good one, Robbie.
Nice move.
Kudos to that one.
Yes, I'm gonna need it so it can be printed out and then cut out and appropriately placed.
All right, so let me finish the sketch covers. Here we go. So all right, so then we had Uncanny Avengers #1 signed with Vision cover sketch by Paul Maitland. Suggested retail of $149.99, and we have it tonight for $75.
And that's now the new movie Vision, by the way. When the Avengers comes back, that's going to be the Vision that we see on the theater screens.
All right, so then we have Origin 2 #1 signed with Wolverine cover sketch by Joe Del Vioto and Mariano
Beautiful
Diaz.
Those two guys again.
Yeah, I heard that Joe Del Vioto guy is pretty nice.
Nicieza would be nothing without him.
Yeah, Nicieza, I heard, yeah, that guy's kind of shady.
I think it would be funny if there was no Joe Del Beato. We just made it up. It's just
Oh, there's a Joe Del
He
Vioto.
just made it up.
Believe me.
I listen to Mariano talk when they're talking to each other. You think they're married or something, man. All right. So then we have.
I like this because the Wolverine claws are the appropriate length. One of the things that's always driven me nuts about this
Here we
character
go.
is how his hand
Here we go.
is maybe 4 inches and the blades are 3 times that much. Because
All
the
right, so
blades are
hang on.
solid units.
Hang on. Now, wait a minute. Now I have to chime in, Mr. Comic Geek fan. The blades come from his forearms, all the way up his forearms.
So this is I've heard that for years, but here's the problem.
Tell me.
How does he bend his wrists then?
That's a good question.
Because if they're here, which is a perfectly good explanation,
Yeah.
when they come out to here, or even like a ludicrous length, like an Eric Larson length where it's here,
Right.
how is he moving his wrist? Because
Well, you obviously don't know how adamantium works, John. John, you don't know how adamantium works. In the body, it becomes kind of like a half liquid, half it becomes like a plasma.
So
Thank
let
you
me get
for that
this
one.
straight.
That makes sense too. I like that.
So
I
let me
get the no
this
prize, right? Let's do it.
You do. That's a good one.
So wait a minute, time out. Let me get this straight. So a mutant who can heal super fast, who has the metal adamantium infused into its bones. But your problem is the claws are too long? Is that what you're saying?
it's simple
just
physics.
checking.
I can buy everything else. I can buy everything else.
Warning! We have a tangent incoming. Tangent incoming. Warning! Here comes the tangent. We'll eventually get back to books, but first, here's a tangent. Tangent.
Yeah, I thought I was getting an Amber Alert or something on my phone, man. I was looking over.
But needless to
Oh
say,
my
it's an
God.
excellent cover by it.
Robbie, I saw your pictures on Facebook. Looks like you had a great time.
Oh, it was a blast, Nick. You should have been there. It would have been super. It would have been more fun.
To do a Red Sonja blank with no.
I do believe there's going to be a collage piece with Mr. Barucci.
No, what would be
I
better
tell you what,
How about
I'll allow-
Nick with retracted claws, but he can't bend his
I'll
elbow?
allow Mariano to do this under the condition that we raise $1,000 for Saved Whiskers, and somebody has to buy it.
That's
Oh,
I would go with it.
You know what?
But
That's
wait.
great.
You're expecting them to buy it sight unseen?
Yes.
Oh.
No. Well, we have to raise $1,000 plus somebody has to buy it.
Who's the character on the cover?
Apparently, me
Nick.
with red pants.
Nick in his
No,
red
but it's
pants
a
and
collage.
prom.
Like, so who's the character that
Red
you're?
Sonja.
It should
Red
be
Sonja?
he's paying
Okay.
Red Sonja to kill you.
All right. So, Robbie, you doing the show on Friday with Amy and Rex?
Of course.
All right. We get 70 people in the room on Monday at the same time. Right now, if somebody buys this, they get one of Amy's sketch cards as part of it. If we get 70 people in the room on Monday, we'll give away one of Amy's sketch cards. One is with purchase, one will be a giveaway. If we get 70 people in the room on Monday.
Nice. All right, let's start working. Everybody tell your friends, tell your family. Got to get 70 people in here next week. Let's do it.
PJ, that's disturbing. No. Give him a 5 minute.
No, whoa. No.
See?
I said me wearing the red pants. That's where it stops.
So red pants, no shirt is what you're saying.
I knew you were going to go there. What is up with your mind? Why would you want to do that to anybody?
I am pissed off that clearly everybody in who's watching the show has been drinking, and including John, except for me.
Cheesed off.
And me.
Cheesed off. We don't use the P word here.
Yeah, Mariano, but you're like, you got all the color ink in right
What?
there. You're just sniffing those pens.
You're right. You know, there is something to that. These things do have alcohol in them.
Oh, he's all high from sniffing the markers.
I would
All
love
right.
it if those were the ones everybody had when they were in elementary school, and they're like the sniff ones where they smell like peaches or oranges or something.
Oh, I
like
used to have those.
Cinnamon.
Yeah, I remember those.
Speak for yourself. I never had that.
Well, way back in those days.
That was
Right,
one of my-
exactly. Way back in those
One
days.
of my greatest high school memories was a friend. She used to leave notes in my locker, and it was always a cinnamon scented note.
See, we got to bring
All right.
back the smell-o-vision cover. That's what we need to do, right? Like scented pen ink, right? Why did I say pen ink? And just ink is enough to say there. Anyway, scented covers. Let's do it, y'all. Come on.
John, are you sure it was because your locker smelled so
You
much?
mean
They put notes
scratch
in?
and sniff, I think is what you're referring to.
Yes.
All right, so Alex is in here for 5 minutes. It's giving us the sign
Wait,
for 5
Alex
minutes.
is in here?
Where is it? Where is it? Wait,
I did my best.
Oh,
Where
it's
is it?
Alex.
I did my best.
Alex
It's
Malik?
Alex.
Huh?
Alex Malik?
No, not that.
Oh, Alex Maleev's a great artist. Yeah, let's have a chat. Yeah, let's have a chat with him.
Here, I'll move this.
Hey,
No,
I
you're
brought
fine, you're fine,
Mariano.
you're fine.
Okay, come on,
You
people.
don't know, you're on the clock.
you don't
Keep
do
going.
it. All right. You're on the clock, Alex.
Cool.
Go.
All right, with the craziness happening behind me, I've got six. I've got six awesome things for you. Of course, the microphone's there, so I'm going to talk this way. So 6 wonderful things, the finale of our this month's solicits for DF. And they are a doozy because something that I personally love. But let's start with number 1, which is All-Star Comics number 3. This is the first appearance of the Justice Society. And we are offering the facsimile already CGC graded for you for $99.99. This book is awesome and is the first team up in the golden age of a huge character team. So this is All-Star Comics number 3, the first Justice Society.
They should put that tagline on the book, Alex. You know, the first appearance of the team up of a huge hero team. I like the way you described that.
That's what it says underneath that. That's why I'm not reading it. But we've got G.I. Joe on the brain because G.I. Joe is coming on the Energon universe. And let's start with the original, which is G.I. Joe number 1. ARAH G.I. Joe, a real American hero. And this is the Larry Hama cut with his original dialogue and unedited footage, unedited text. We are offering this TGC graded. MSRP is $99.99. We've got it for Transformers debut of $82. You'll notice this version has the Image logo on the left in the UPC box in the Skybound Comics group up top where it normally says Marvel. But we're offering this for $82 CGC graded. And speaking of G.I. Joe, we've got the new Duke number 1, signed by Joshua Williamson, sure to be a great start to the new Energon universe for G.I. Joe, and we're offering this for $49.99. Again, Joshua Williamson, signed Duke number 1. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Stranger Things together in one comic with the Virgin Ron Leary comic exposure exclusive. You got the Demo Gorgon up top, the Turtles on the bottom, and the main character is right there in the middle for $29.99, the comic exposure exclusive. We do have a special mystery pack for this. This is the Ho 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 high-end holiday special. A $225 value of high-end comics for just $120, including a high-end numbered 100 or less, 1 to 50 or less, and 1 to 25 or less. MSRP of $225 today for $120.25. And we do have a Mary Marquis set, same thing for $200, 1 signed book, 1 metal book, and 1 TGC graded book. MSRP is $200, but the intro is $150. And finally, the book I am most excited about so much. Let's put up All American Comics number 16. This is the first appearance of the original Green Lantern, Alan Scott. And what's great about this issue is this is the first time this facsimile is being offered. The very first time this comic is being reprinted singularly in any format. This has never been reproduced by itself. It's only in collected editions. And what's awesome about this is I know for a fact I bugged my friend, the DC editor, so many times asking about this book that she finally made it happen. That is not a joke. I really bugged my editor friend so much about this book. It's finally here. It's probably my fault, so she would stop having me ask her. But it's here. First Alan Scott for $100 CGC graded. Again, I'm getting a bunch of copies of this book for myself. This is the very first.
I hate to say it, but it sounds in bad taste to plan your friendship with an editor or publisher. That's just not something we would do.
I know. It's weird.
I stepped away for a few minutes. Could you repeat all that?
Sure. Raise your hand if you're not an employee here. Oh, wait a second.
Oh, yeah. I'm barely here at all.
Enjoy, everyone. Thanks.
All right, so
that's cool. By the way, that's very cool. I love that cover. Man, that's awesome.
All right, so how's that coming along there, Mar?
Almost done.
He's almost done.
Got to break out the glue.
All right,
and,
so
the first $1,700 takes it. Why $1,700? Because that's how much it'll cost for Mariano to go out to dinner at Luca in Bordentown.
You have expensive taste, my friend.
Luca is very expensive, but it's very good food.
All right, so let's see here. Okay, yeah, that looks really cool.
It is wild to just sit here. We joke around a lot. It is wild to sit here and watch how that, I mean, literally it was blank.
I owe it all to Joe Del Beato. Without Joe Del Beato, it wouldn't be possible. Giving some credit where credit is due.
He totally deserves the credit. He has to talk to you all the time.
Exactly.
Poor man.
Exactly.
He has my sympathy.
Exactly.
Because I got to talk to you all the time. And man, geez, it's exhausting. All right, so Jay, take us to our break, and then we got to find out how Robbie's weekend went when we come back, and check out
another break.
Yes, another break.
I have to wait to glue the stuff together.
No, you can continue working as it's only a couple minutes more. You'll be all right, buddy.
These are all union breaks. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
All
right, we'll be back in a couple minutes. Stay with us.
Programming on the EXP is made possible by viewers like you, or your local comic shop, or that Kickstarter you backed, or the publisher you like, or comic industry professionals who want to share a message with the world. Really, anyone who wants to advertise with us can. If you're interested in seeing a product you know and love, or are creating, or are publishing, or are involved with, advertised here on The Experience, and having your message shared with our viewers, please reach out by scanning the QR code below or visiting our website and using the contact form. You know how when you go to Comic-Con, after Comic-Con, you go to the hotel bar, and there's a whole bunch of people playing music and dancing, and you've got Pikachu and Lara Croft Tomb Raider doing the cha-cha slide just down from Deadpool and Batman and Wonder Woman? That's every Saturday night over on the Experience Twitch channel. Join Taji Beats for the EXP Dance Party, exclusively on Twitch, twitch.tv/the_EXP.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey. And behind every page, there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
All right, and we're back.
We
All right,
are back.
So, Robbie, tell us about your weekend, man.
All right. Well, before I do that, if you don't mind. So I did this a year ago, and I'm thinking about doing this for one of my sketch covers, basically recreating this. So let me know if y'all would like something like that. So
Are those
there
eyes
you go.
blue? I couldn't tell if the eyes were blue.
The eyes are blue. They're a little
Right.
bit blue. I was trying to do like a shadow for the brow, and it looks like he's wearing like a domino mask. He's dressed as Robin. That's Benjamin Grimm dressed as Robin. Jay, keep me like this if you don't mind. Bear with me because I have a slideshow I put together for us. So there I am meeting Melinda Clark. I went to Scarefest in Lexington, Kentucky. Melinda Clark was the star of Return of the Living Dead 3. there I am with John Amplis, who's in tons of George Romero movies, including he was the star of Martin, one of my favorite Romero films. There's me and Amy Steele. She was the final girl in Friday the 13th Part 2. There is me and legendary Tom Savini. Yeah, if you know horror films, if you know movies, you know who Tom Savini is. There I am with Danielle Harris, who of course was from Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers, as well as the Rob Zombie Halloween films, Hatchet 2 and 3, Last Boy Scout, tons of stuff. There I am with Brian Bremer, who was in Pumpkinhead. He was in Society. He was in Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 5. There I am with Adrienne Barbeau. Enough said. Everybody knows who she is.
I think The Fog is up in my queue again. I watch it every October.
There I am with my good friend Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp. She remembers me now. Like, I've done a panel with her. She remembered me. That was such a fun experience. And there I am with my new love interest, Fiona Dourif, right there. So it was a great time. It was a great time, y'all.
That picture came up as I'm watching the show, and I'm like, this is just the coolest thing ever. I paused the phone, and I just paused it, and I turned to my wife, and she's like, what are you smiling at? I said, you see that girl? Because I paused the show. I said, you see that girl? I said, yeah. I said, there's my friend Robbie. And she looks at it. She's like, oh, they get to stand right next to them. And I almost died laughing. Like, my wife has never been to a con in her life, and the idea that you could stand next to someone on TV like blew her mind away.
Dwayne's a pain.
By the way, to answer y'all's question, I didn't notice any smell, but I did get told that I smelled really good by Felissa Rose. So there you go.
Ooh. Oh God!
Fiona will be his friend to the end. This will be
his head's never going to come down from the clouds.
All jokes aside, Robbie, it looked like a weekend was a blast, man.
It was great, y'all. And I'm telling you, man, John. Don't worry, I'm working on Fiona. Like I'm working her down.
You know, I'm an award-winning podcast.
You know, right? that's a story with every rom-com, man. You just wear them down, man. Wear them down.
No, it was a great time though. It was super, super fun. So.
Sure.
Oh my God. Too funny. But it looks like you had fun, man.
Yeah, it was great. I love doing the comic book conventions and all that stuff. But when I go there, it's like I feel like I'm still kind of on a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But when I go to a horror con, and I wasn't, I was like, my buddy that I went with, John, was like, oh, people are going to be recognizing you. I'm like, not here at a Comic Con. Yeah, but not here. Nope. There were actually people that were like, Robbie, I watch your show every week, blah, 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 blah. So yeah. No, nobody actually said that, but my buddy John did tell me he was very envious of my hair. So
he's somebody and we're nobody. That's just how it is.
Speak for yourself, man. I know.
I also had cool interactions with people. We interacted with Kane Hodder, of course. My buddy got to meet David Arquette. I interacted a little bit with Ken Forey and Greg Nicotero, and a few others I'm probably forgetting about. But I mean, just surrounded by horror legends. This was the 15th year of Scarefest. It's in Lexington, Kentucky. Also, if you're in Lexington, Kentucky, go to the restaurant Agave and Rye. It's a Mexican restaurant with over 80 choices when it comes to tequila and bourbon because it's Kentucky. Oh, nice. That place was amazing. John saw the pictures. That place was awesome.
That looks like a place that if I knew I was going to Louisville, I would hit up on Open Table or something and say, hey, look, I'm going to be in town next week.
Lexington.
Yeah. Lars man has been there, and I got to say this: Adrienne Barbeau. I saw you flash the on the slideshow. To me, I know all the horror movies that she did, but to me, it's still that role in Escape from New York.
Oh yeah,
yeah. With the gun, and I mean, I thought she was phenomenal.
I met her about 7 or 8 years.
I told her that she was. I love The Fog, right? And so I told her I was like, I got a picture of her from The Fog on the mic. Because I was like, that kind of resonates with me. And I told her, I was like, your performance carries The Fog. I love that movie. And the more I watch it, the more. And she goes, well, I had a really good director. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Her former lover, John Carpenter. And it's so fun talking to her. She's like, yeah, I went into voice acting because I had, my son, Cody Carpenter. I'm like, yeah, I know who Cody Carpenter is. And I forgot I went up there. She was the voice of Selena Kyle in the animated series, man.
Yeah.
Like, I heard about that. She does a lot of voice work now in video games she was talking about.
about 8 years ago, I saw her at a horror con, and what people were asking her to sign were Batman Adventures comics with Selena Kyle on the cover.
Oh, really?
She was surprised by that because she's like, I do these cons, I love them, I love seeing people. She was super nice to everybody. She was there way past when she had to be, just talking to people. But she was surprised by the number of people who were bringing her Batman Adventures type stuff to sign because she does the voice of Selena Kyle. I think she was almost a little bit like, wow, people remember that. Very cool. Thank you. Because, people were coming. She was signing a guy's shirt like 3 days in a row. The guy had a fog shirt one day, signed that. She had an Escape from New York shirt on. The guy came, she signed that from. I think she was maybe slightly surprised that, that was what people, and there were a lot of those people with comics. Like I saw them as I walked by the line. I mean, I was doing more food than anything else. I was working the con. I wasn't at the con. I was, but it was very cool. And you can always tell some of these people, and I'm not going to celebrity bash, but when a celebrity is super grateful that you bring them a hot cup of coffee, that tells me that, they're like a pretty cool person. They go out of their way to thank you. And I'm like, oh man, you're in half the movies I watch. Thank you. Please take the coffee.
So, and weird, I'm not sure, buddy. It may be a delay on your end. I'm not sure.
He might be having a stroke. Can you put your hands over your head?
Wow, that's cheerful. Thanks, John.
Well, if he's having a stroke, shouldn't he know?
Yeah, what are we going to do?
It's so close to Halloween. He's probably excited and he's worked himself up.
All right. So, Mark, how are we coming with that?
Close. Very, very close. I just have a little.
Started doing the collage part, which I find
Man.
All right, so
I hope he does one for you guys because this one's probably gonna,
Well, I got to figure out a price.
He'll have to go to his desk and
Del Beato is a phone call away.
So I don't know, Stevie B. So is Adrienne Barbeau? Is she in her 70s?
Well, we're both in our 50s.
Probably.
And she was. So yeah, I was going to say probably.
Yeah.
She's 78 years old.
Whatever she is, she's looking awesome.
Yeah, she's 78. She looked great. She looked great. She was sharp. It was awesome.
Yeah. Stephen then wants to know, how do you pronounce your surname?
So Steve, let me help you with that. So you pronounce his last name. It's Mariano, the other brother.
Oh, it's so wrong. This is why do I even come here? Why do I even?
I still got to buy you a hoagie anyway. I owe you one.
You've already guaranteed I'm getting this Silver Surfer book.
We're going to do this as if I was on stage at a convention. Start with your kneecap, knee, and then with your eyes, you see, or the ocean is a sea. So knee, C, A, Z. And in some cases, it could be a silent It could be. It doesn't have to be an A.
I didn't see where.
I hate to be this guy, but that's not right. I've been reading comics for a long time.
So no. I didn't see where it was going with that. Somehow I thought his knee would lead to his foot, and it would end up.
You know what?
In
that's a very valid question because way back in the day, everybody called him Fabian Nicieza, and I remember the first time I went to a con, I'm like, I don't think that's right because that's not how he says it. It's his name. But that's if you went to a comic.
All joking aside.
I wasn't joking. That's how you pronounce my name.
What? Sorry, I went to blah 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 again. I'm sorry. So
don't encourage him. Don't encourage him.
This will look great against the black and white.
So I remember when she was in Maud too, TJ. But all joking aside, all right. I've known Mariano a really long time. So
too long.
Yeah, probably.
Steve, that's another one I used to hear at comic book stores too. Nichiza. It was never right. Like literally back in the day, you'd go to like Steve's Comic Relief or something, or Purple Onion, and it would be like, oh yeah, Fabian Nichiza. And I'm like,
okay, so Mark, I just want you to be ready. That one's probably gonna stick.
Nichiza?
Yeah.
Start with your name. Piece of cheese.
It's kind of like Nichiza.
I don't have to put up with this. I don't have to put up with this.
But you did.
But I did, and I still am. I know.
Do you want me to call my friend the publisher to get mad at this?
And you can't even say you've never done this with us before. Okay. Although I have to admit, you ran out in the middle of a tornado warning to avoid us one time, but I just thought it was John.
Tornado.
And based on this performance, do you blame me?
Mother Nature.
Well,
do your work.
Of course not.
Do you blame me for getting the hell out of
No,
Dodge?
of course not. I applaud and I am impressed by your stamina.
I'm impressed by his patience. Nobody needs a job this bad. I just go home. He's a talented creator. He can do other stuff for a living.
You're here for free.
Yeah, but I'm not a talented creator.
Wait, I'm not being paid for this either. What are we talking about?
Weekly. Very weekly.
All right. So let's get to, we got 2 more cover sketches left. All right. So let's get to those.
We did all the sketch covers, right?
No, there's 2 more. All right. So we've got the Mighty Thor signed with Thor and Hela cover sketch by Ken Hazer.
My friend Ken Hazer. Love his stuff.
Oh, wow. I like the one he did with Thor's face here.
$119.99, and we've got it tonight for $62. And Preston, that is correct because he is. I don't know if you got here in the beginning, Preston, so you may have to do your explanation again. Just a short version. So because somebody noticed you using glue stick.
Collage art has been around since the 60s with Jack Kirby and
Jim
Steranko. This is a well-known collage cover. So it struck me recently that no one has ever done collage art with sketch covers. So I've started to do a series of collage pieces on sketch covers.
So remember last week that Black Panther piece that I tried to explain but failed miserably at?
No, I failed miserably at it too.
I know you did.
I was going to say, we both kind of.
Yeah, I know you did. You just kind of go, ooh, that's so cool. And it's like, that's not helping me, John.
I brought my entire reference library with me, and I went through a whole, you're going to have to rewind and watch a show, but I went through a whole litany of examples from Jack Kirby and Jim Steranko, and then some stuff I've done over the years. And we're going to try something new with collage art.
All right. TJ, are we getting Dynamite to couple pages? The cup page?
Decoupage.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Lawrence, man. I didn't realize you've got COVID, bro. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Oh man,
feel better.
That sucks, buddy. All right,
feel better.
For our buddy Lawrence, man, let's get to that before he has to pass out.
Send your stuff overnight,
All right, so the Spider-Man Mystery Pack includes a CGC 9.8, a back issue, sketch cover, and a dual signed book. Suggested retail of $3.96 and we've got it for $196 and $20. All right, at this point, it's not much of a mystery. So, go ahead and take the question mark down. We'll do it the hard way. All right. Oops. All right.
If you want to do this properly the Dynamite way, throw it on the floor first. That's what I saw.
Right, hold on. Here he comes. Smash. No.
The owner has set the trend.
He's the boss. All right, so we have in this Spider-Man pack, we have Spider-Man cover sketch by Lance Footer. Spider-Man #1 signed by Humberto Ramos and Edgar Delgado. It is #3 of only 9 signed in gold. So that comes in it. And Marvel Tales featuring Spider-Man #275, and that's the back issue. So that is a Spider-Man mystery pack on that. Undropped. All right. And we have Spider-Man #9, page 7. Original art, and let me check the price on that. That is still available. Nick brought that in earlier during the show. And all right, and that we have for, I think Nick said, what did he say, 500?
I think 500. I think that sounds right.
All right,
sure.
So that is that. All right, so let me see what else we got tonight. Okay, so we have some graded books and incentives. So that's right, Tacoma. It was 500. You're correct. So I'm assuming you're not claiming it. You're clarifying for the rest of us, buddy.
And sold.
But if you are claiming it, let me know. All right.
No worries. We already have your Amex information. We'll just invoice you. Congratulations.
I assure you, John does not. And Lars, man, buddy, I hope you feel better.
And with good. Seriously, all jokes aside, Lars, man. I mean, that's something to mess around with.
Yeah.
I hope you're.
Feel better,
Agreed. Feel better.
Yeah.
Yes, Spider-Man is on the art. So let me hold it up closer, buddy. I ended up being Van White today. All right.
You're the only one that can fit into a dress. It sure isn't me.
All right. So you see him, Spider-Man up top.
I'm not putting on that dress. Look at those sequins.
Oh, you got Peter and Norman here, so that's awesome, actually.
Sure. All right. Black Box, what's up, man? All right. So there you go, Tacoma. If you need a better image, let me know. You know how to reach me, buddy.
Mark Bagley is one of my favorite Spider-Man artists, period. I mean, to me, it's like Romita, Ditko, Bagley. I love his work so much.
All right, so we have that piece for $500 tonight. All right.
That's a great that's like a great page to own. If you're like a Spider-Man guy or whatever, that's like a cool page to own.
No, Nick's not going to give it to you.
What? I'm not a Spider-Man guy. And if I was going to take something from here, I would pry that Matt Wagner Green Hornet thing off the wall.
Somebody hide that in the bathroom, please.
I'll tell you right now. I said that to Nick one day. If the fire alarm went off or the tornado alarm came real, everybody'd run for safety. I'd run for a screwdriver and take that thing right off the wall.
I don't think you need a screwdriver.
And there you have it.
It would be hard to explain to Matt Wagner why I'm asking him to sign something in a con.
Let him bring
That's got a
screwdriver
wall
and
on
start
it.
unscrewing, only to find out he didn't need to do that. All right. Okay, so let's get to, you know what? Let's get to the graded books.
Cool.
All right. You ready? You ready, Jay? All right, here you go, buddy. So we have Batman number 426, CGC 9.4, Death in the Family. We've got this one for $80. Then we have Batman number 427, CGC graded 9.6, and we've got that for 110. All right, then we have Batman number 427. We have this in both a 9.8 and a 9.6. The 9.8 we have for $255. And the 9.6 we have for $160. All right, then we have Detective Comics number 566. It is a CGC 9.6, and we've got that for $160.
When I was hanging out with Nathan Zerdy earlier this year, he said that this is one of his favorite covers of all time.
Yeah.
Nice.
TJ wants to see a picture of Robbie sniffing Adrian Barbeau.
I got a picture of her sniffing me, but not when I'm
Yeah, let's see it, buddy. Let's see it, man.
I don't know if the police post that stuff on the arrest.
All right. Detective Comics number 575. We have this in both a 9.6 and a 9.8. We have a 9.6 for $85.
Yeah. The better Batman uses a gun. His dad.
And then the 9.8 we have for $170.
Stevie B's got a good point down there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
See?
Tony Mariano here more often. Apparently, there's something going on where the internet's just working perfectly with him around.
It's a human walking and talking.
Well, without him, it's just us. Who cares?
He's a human hotspot. I like that.
He's a human correct. Okay.
The radiation is going right through me.
See, what happened is whoever comes in and disrupts your service, they saw him there with his gloves on and the black outfit, and they were just like, yo, they brought the henchman today. Like, we're not going to mess with them.
Not today. Not today.
All right. All right. So the last one we have is Detective Comics number 577. It is a CGC 9.2, and we have that for $65. All right, cool. No, Tacoma wasn't that. Believe it or not, nothing actually significantly has changed. Other than we brought in Mariano, the human hotspot.
We all know the famous photo of Marilyn Monroe when the vents like blowing air up, right, in her dress and all that. That's what's happening to Batman here, right? That's what's going on there. It's just like, why did they put this right next to the grave?
All right, so you want to hold that up? Let's take a look.
The camera on?
It is now.
Careful, I'm going to send this to CGC for screening.
Nice.
All right.
Voila, a collage original.
Oh, that's beautiful, man.
Isn't it? I mean, literally, this has been an hour and 20 minutes.
This was a blank cover. It was, I forget, what was the title of that one? It was
Doctor Strange.
It was right. It was a Doctor Strange.
It was originally Doctor Strange.
Not anymore.
So
now it's a virgin Silver Surfer.
So essentially, Mariano turned it into a virgin cover.
Yeah.
So all right. So
see, that's what Robbie's been doing with his covers. He's been turning them into blanks. We're just too stupid. We didn't get it.
That's a lot of whiteout.
Yeah. See, John finally understood what I was. I'm Andy Kaufmaning this thing. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm amazed at his abilities, man.
So suggested retail of, I would imagine, $149.99.
$22,000, sir.
Yeah, you're pretty quick about quoting these high prices when you don't actually pay any money for the viewers.
Well, whatever the price is, you also got to add in the National Geographic magazine that Mariano had to cut up or whatever, right? So.
He got it from the library too, so they're going to be upset.
It was life, all right? It was life.
All right, so Steve Vendetta actually has a question for you.
Like a real question.
So
I can't read it without my glasses on, so someone read it for me.
He wants to know if you apply a laminate film atop the finished collage cover to protect the piece.
No, it's going to be bagged and boarded, and that'll protect the piece. But in general, you just saw me go through the process. I'm literally cutting magazine pieces and gluing them onto the.
I should have Alex send
cover.
this to CGC because I want it in plastic.
Alex went home for the night.
That sounds like you problem to me, not a me problem.
CGC would be like 2.0. Somebody marked all over it with a marker and pasted a bunch of stuff on it.
Protecting this is no different than protecting any other sketch cover or original art. It's a typical bag and board will do the trick.
Tacoma doing his best impersonation of me. I think Nick should give that to me for free.
Hey,
nice try, kid.
Tacoma. John's already got that.
Nice try, kid. That's
yeah, but if we use staples, where are we going to put the staples? Where would you staple this?
Yeah, I agree. Acetate with extra staples would really raise the value of that.
Yeah, I think
no,
so.
Seriously, all jokes aside, if you were going to protect this thing, you would probably put it in you would have it slabbed, right? Like if that was the key that you wanted it.
I keep it away from you is what I do.
Here's an idea. You can have this idea. You do like a Frankenstein monster homage, and you add in staples, right? And then you have real 3D staples there. That would be cool.
You've just described the Nick Barucci cover. That's perfect. That's perfect.
So weird. Not really.
Nick Barucci Stein. I'm looking forward to that cover.
With Red Sonja chasing him.
The Nicky the Roach card.
It's brilliant, I tell you.
I'm Nicky the Roach. I'm Sonja the Red. Oh, I know how this is going to go. Oh, boy, I know how this is going to go. Yeah, seriously, let's get this so they can actually
admire it.
Yeah, I think of where that was. Literally.
Steranko, I will put Steranko next to Nicias and Del Beato. There we go.
When I talk to him next Sunday, I'll let him know the kid did a good job.
Well, you know what? We got to go
let him know I was comparing his.
Can we scan
collage.
that?
Can we what?
Is it scannable?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So now that we got to go to our next break in a couple minutes. So during that break, let's scan it, and I'll send it to our producer Jay, and then they can throw it up.
You think Jay wants more to do?
You think I want more to do?
Keep drawing.
You all need to stop talking right now. All right, so that's what we'll do. You get a good look at it. I got to figure out a price.
That's what I said, Jay. This kid might make it.
Yeah, he might be all right. I think. Yeah.
Nick, you have some work for him?
So, all right. And when we get back, we'll do the incentives, and we will do a quick recap.
Talk about what Robbie's got going tonight.
Yeah, we'll talk about what Robbie's got going on tonight. I hear the Phillies are losing, so that's bad news. But
all my friends left the bar. They were just like, I guess the score went to 4-1, and they were like, check please.
I was hoping it wouldn't push to 7.
It got to the 7th inning, I guess, and when it was 4-1 and they were done at 7, he's like, goodbye.
That's not good. So it looks like we will be playing Game 7. Most unfortunate. Didn't want to have to go to that. But what can you do? That's why they play the game. So, Robbie, how you feeling about your Cowboys? They keep getting ranked up there in the power rankings, which I think is a joke, but yeah.
Yeah, you can say that, but I mean, honestly, I'm happy. I'm glad that even though I was busy this weekend, I didn't have to worry about it because they had the bye, right?
Yep.
Your Eagles won handedly, so that was nice, I'm sure, for you. But we'll see what happens next week. So,
well, I think for the Eagles that was a big moment because, Hurts has been turning over the ball a lot, and to be able to step up and finish, I think says something. A lot of teams say they get into this hole and then they can't battle their way back. So
right.
And
so my buddy that I went to Scarefest with is from Michigan. He's a big Lions fan, and so we're driving on the way back, and I look over and I'm like, "Hey man, how are the Lions doing?" He's like, "I don't want to talk about it." So they had a rough one yesterday. I'll tell you that.
They did. Most definitely they did. So all right, we're gonna go to our last and final break, and we'll be back. And Weird's a big Detroit Lions fan. We will do the incentives, and then we'll get a price. We'll get that scanned. All right, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
What if Hans Gruber from Die Hard had to battle the Joker from Batman the Animated Series in a dance battle? Or who would win in a race between Baby from Baby Driver and Snidely Whiplash? If Austin Powers and Shrek found themselves in a hot dog eating contest, who would emerge victorious? These are the questions we talk about on Nerd Killer Warfare. Debate the most absurd questions you've ever heard in popular culture. Register now by scanning the QR code or visiting bit.ly/EXP casting. Did you know that every experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out, twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales. There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Go follow The Experience on TikTok at @the_EXP1 or scan the QR code on the screen. Our TikTok is like everywhere else we are, except you only have to deal with us for a minute. Seems like a win-win to me.
right. So Jay, did you get the image yet or no? Give Jay a second here. It should
Just
be
a
up.
second. I gotta. I'm checking Slack now. I don't have it yet.
Okay. All right. Give Amy a second. She'll get it up there.
So Mariano left and actually left the comic here. You're making this too easy, man. I mean, you're not even trying anymore.
I got a fingerprint dusting.
It's like you might as well just leave it in my car on the way out.
So the Silver Surfer. Okay.
This was super cool to watch, though, man.
It was.
To see him just basically go from a blank cover of Doctor Strange to this in 75 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, not even
even that. I mean, we joke around a lot. We have a lot of fun. That's like a serious level of talent. Like I said, I can't aspire to that. I don't understand that level of talent. I'm just glad I'm sitting next to Mariano or Ken when they're doing this stuff and I get to watch.
All right, so let's give Amy a minute to get it up there. So we have one more sketch cover I got to get to. All right, so it's Batman Urban Legends #1, signed with Lobo cover sketch by Dan Needlinger. Suggested retail of $149.99. Tonight we have this one for $75.
I really like this one, and it's really nice because, you know, we got all the new talk again about Jason Momoa as Lobo. Lobo's first appearance is heating up. The character's becoming more popular, and this kind of takes like the early Lobo and a little bit of that Bisley and Giffen flavor, and like, I don't know, it's kind of like a good amalgamation, I think, of both of those Lobos, the Giffen and the Bisley.
It's super timely because, you know, Giffen recently passed away. And I think people, whenever a creator passes away, everybody mentally and emotionally revisits their work, right? Like somebody passes away, you start thinking about it. Maybe you go into your collection, you start dragging stuff out or whatever. Not everybody has, you know, everything. And that's why I love when these creators sort of channel energy from creators like Kirby, who are no longer with us. Because let's be honest, I mean, some Kirby stuff you're just not going to get. I mean, I love Challengers of the Unknown. Have you seen what those go for? And really,
CJ.
Yeah, and Eddie's got a point too. If you want to, you can like take a red Sharpie and add a long tongue to it, and you got a Gene Simmons. So you're all good.
Oh man,
maybe Gene's gonna play like Lobo's dad in the movie.
Oh, that would be so cool. That would be actually really cool, dude.
Go down to earth. Let's shut up. Go ahead, go.
All right. So now let's get through the incentives that we have tonight. So these are incentives we had through the month.
Oh, wow.
All right. Silver Surfer. The collage, obviously, as you can see, is a star field in the background. That is unreal. This started out as a Doctor Strange #1, and you guys have seen it.
When we sat down, I literally did not know how he was going to make this going to happen, right? Because he had stuff cut out. He had like a zillion markers. And I'm like, how are you going to do this? And
all right. So we've got the Silver Surfer tonight for $150. And the authenticity, well, you watched it right here.
Somebody buy this, man. This is something you want in the collection.
And,
That's very cool.
Weird. He had the pencils for the Silver Surfer, and the planet below. Everything else he did tonight. He colored it, inked it, colored it, and then obviously put the Starfield in there.
Wow, it looks amazing.
It's unreal, dude, and it looks even better close up, people. I gotta tell you. So we got it tonight for $150, and it is wow. And all joking aside, I've actually learned a lot about the process and all that stuff. Just talking to Mariano through years, it's not easy.
TJ, the experience one of the mystery. Who stole the Surfer? It's not a mystery, bro. We love you, but no, it's not a mystery.
It's not a mystery, bro. We know. Where is it? Amy, do you have it? No. Do you have it?
No, it's in my trunk.
And then one of us will say, somebody text John. Okay, that's
you bring that back. What?
Bring what back? And then you got to do that dance. Trust me.
I'm not there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on vacation. I'm in Myrtle Beach. What? We're breaking up. We've done that. Done that. Been there. All right. So let's get through the incentives. We have Batman Superman, World's Finest number 19, 125 ratio, Alexander Lozano variant.
Oh, wow.
It's trading around 25, and we've got it for $12.50 tonight.
Man, the colors in this are crazy.
It's a great cover, and it's a great book, too. This is one of my favorite DC books right now.
All right, the next up, Batman Superman World's Finest number 19, 150 ratio, Helene Lenable variant, trading right now for 50, and we've got it for 25 tonight, 50% off.
Not only is World's Finest probably, I hate to say it, but World's Finest is probably the best book that features these characters.
Right.
I mean, but they're gonna revisit Kingdom Come. People who watch this show know my favorite DC thing is Kingdom Come.
Oh, and that stuff's been amazing, dude. And but I got a question about this. Like, anybody who always asks, how come Batman always winds up getting the upper hand on Superman? I always say Batman's a little bit smarter than Superman. Superman's got a lot of book knowledge, but he's trying to use his heat vision while wearing a space suit. That doesn't seem like a good idea, by the way.
Light passes through. Now, I heard it explained to me this way one time. It's not. It has to be Batman getting the upper hand a little bit, because otherwise it's not interesting.
That's true.
I mean, if you strip away the storytelling, it would be like me and a flea in physical combat.
My favorite thing is,
so
I don't really like Jeff Loeb's Hush. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Hush. I think Batman Hush is okay, you know. But like one of my favorite bits in that is when Batman is fighting Superman, and he says, he addresses this. He goes, when it boils down to it, Clark's a good person.
Yeah.
And I'm not. He's going to fight dirty. Superman's going to be like, okay, Bruce. And Batman's like, kryptonite. Just like coming at him.
Probably there. I can't remember exactly the book. I can't. But I think it's in Dark Knight. Where Batman is basically all in. His suit is attached to the power station. He's broken his fortune. He spent every dime. And he blasts Superman. And Superman barely touches him. I mean, barely hits him. And he's like, Bruce, I just broke 3 of your ribs. Come on, stop. And that tone, to me, explains how not only is Clark a nice guy, but to a certain level, it never occurs to him. Like Frank Miller really does a great job where there's a panel of Superman looking at the sky, and the Batman voiceover is like, look at him sitting there. He's perfect. He's looking at the sun, and in his mind, everything is there for him. And
a couple questions I want to answer real quick. Eddie, Superman's needed a spacesuit basically ever since John Byrne kind of depowered him a little bit, wanted him to be a little bit less Silver Agey. And the other question was, Lyle, yes, there is a Supermobile, and it's got giant fists on it that like pop out like this.
Well, you can see this a little bit because it all depends where they want to have Superman, right? Because in the Silver Age, Superman can pretty much do anything. It's just like nothing affects him. And then you kind of get to the Byrne, and Byrne decides, well, in order to make this relatable, he can't have the power of a god. He just can't, right? But then it starts creeping back up because certain Superman fans, they don't want to see that, right? So he's all over the place. He splits in two. You know, he's rocking a mullet. There's all these crazy things. And then you get to Kingdom Come, and there's Mark Waid, right? And Superman is wearing the space helmet so he can talk to somebody else. The rest of his body, he's wearing the clothes his mom made him. Right. You know what I mean? And literally nothing affects him. And I think that's sort of the beginning and the end of that, where Superman is wearing a helmet so he can talk to other people. He's doing it for you, not him. Right. And he's just there. And of course, you know, I guess Wonder Woman's in like a, you know, some kind of armor, you know, or something like that. But I remember thinking, this is exactly what they're talking about. He does these things for you. Because if you ever see evil Superman, with the exception of something like Injustice, which is it's marketed to sell, most of the Elseworlds where Superman is evil, it's not really any Batman. There's Bruce Wayne, but there's not really any Batman. Because when Superman's evil, the last thing I want to do is roll up on him, you know, just like a bat. Right. That seems to me to be a bad idea.
All right, so the rest of the incentives, we have Birds of Prey, Volume 5, Number 1, 150 ratio, Chris Bacalo variant. Nice. Trading for 50, and we've got it for 20 tonight.
I would love to see them try to take a stab at like a Birds of Prey animated series on Max or something.
Great idea.
I wouldn't hate that at all, especially with this. I mean, there's been a couple different groupings of Birds of Prey. This one in particular, I think Big Barda is money. I think that they, by not having her appear more in animated, I don't know if they could get an actress to play Big Barda and do the character justice. It would probably have to be somebody super over the top, like a pro wrestler or something. But in an animated series, she's just money.
All right, so next up we got Birds of Prey, Volume 5, Number 1, 1/100 ratio, Leonardo Romero variant, trading for 100, and we've got it for 45. All right, then next up we have Blue Beetle, Volume 10, Number 1, 125 ratio, Karen Grant variant, trading for 25. We've got it for $12.50. Then we've got Harley Quinn, Volume 4, Number 32, 125 ratio, Joshua Sway Swaby variant, trading for 25. We've got it for 20. All right, and then Harley Quinn, Volume 4, Number 32, 150 ratio, Corin Howe variant. We've got trading for 50. We've got it tonight for 30. All right, and then we have Immortal Thor, Number 1, 125 ratio, Stonehouse variant.
Oh, man.
That is nice. It's just a retail of 20, or trading currently for 25. We have it for 10.
Well, I guess all these Immortal books, and I'm certainly not bad-mouthing them because I think Immortal Hulk was great, but it seems like, well, we just created this so we can get Alex Ross to do a bunch of covers. And I don't have a problem with that. I would probably do that. You would be seeing, Immortal everything from me if I ran Marvel. But it seems like, and apparently somebody brought this up, a hardcore Hulk fan, that it's like almost like a separate, I don't want to say storyline, but it's almost like not in continuity. Right. It's just like, okay, here's the book. You do the cover and do whatever you want. And we're going to sell, a zillion copies, and we'll figure the writing stuff out over lunch.
All right, so then next up we have Immortal Thor, Number 1, 1/100 ratio, George Perez variant, trading for 100, and we've got it tonight for 45.
See, I'd want a George Perez personally.
All right, then next up, the Sacrificers, Number 1, 135 ratio, J.H. Williams variant, trading for 35. We've got it for $17.50 tonight.
This is a great book, great concept. Rick Remender, I guarantee you this is going to be optioned.
All right, so then we have the Sacrificers, Number 1, 150 ratio, Mike Mignola variant, trading out in the wild for 60, and we got it tonight for 50.
It's one of the best Mignola covers I've seen in a long time. And I love his covers, but that's amazing.
How do you have the time to do this? Like, this dude has an enormous workload. Like, how are you finding time to do other people's books?
Because
which I think is awesome, by the way.
He works a lot faster than Robbie does.
Oh, no!
He is a professional artist for, like, over 30 years, so I would hope so.
And he, too, has awards, I understand.
Yes, he's won. He's won at least one or two.
I was going to say, he's won one or two, so that's not fair.
All right, so then final one, Wolverine Volume 7, Number 37, 125 ratio, Joshua Sway Swaby, trading for 25. We've got it tonight for 15.
Jerry, I was still here. How's that wristband? Look at that.
My God, man. I
2
swear.
feet long, those claws.
You like to fixate on the claws. I just want to know why his mask is in the shape of his hair. That's like what I want to know.
That's a very good question. Actually, I like that one better.
You know how Spider-Man's mask is just on his head? It just goes on his head. It's formless. Maybe it's the same thing. It's like some weird mutant claw.
Anybody else wears it, he looks like Spider-Man, but he wears it. It's like.
So that doesn't bother John at all. What bothers him is the whole concept of the claws. Go figure it out.
I'm a very weird sort of Wolverine person.
That's true.
I like the claws shorter,
Wolverine,
and I prefer when they're bone. I like the stories before he has the animation.
I'm not even concerned about the length. I'm concerned about the angle between each claw, like the way they're coming out. Like they should be straight if they're right. They have to fit in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Right?
I understand it's comics, but let's just say, you know what it's like? Remember when Peter Parker says in Civil War, that thing doesn't obey the laws of physics at all. Talking about Captain America's shield, same thing here. This doesn't obey the laws of physics at all. Just read the book and enjoy it. Don't even worry about it.
You two have way too much free time if you're thinking about that.
Well, while you're ranting about Comcast or the Eagles or something, we had to have something to think about. This is what we think
Comcast,
about.
I don't have a problem with Comcast.
That's true because you're a Dallas fan, so you know.
I have both Comcast and Verizon in my house, so
dude, you have everything. You have the DEFCON system at your house, so make sure you can get your internet never goes down. I know you, dude.
I mean, I dearly love my wife, but she's cleaning up the house one day, and she moves the box. You know, like when you get Verizon, you move the box, and she moves it back, and she looks, and she pauses for a second. And my wife's a scientist. She's a very intelligent woman, but she pauses and looks and says, "What the hell does this thing do?" She had no idea.
The only time you got to be worried is she picks it up and starts shaking.
I don't know. She didn't do that. She
just
just dusted it, and she looks. She goes, "What the hell does this thing do?" And I was like, "Well, it's our Wi-Fi." And she's like, "Well, what is this?" And she points to Comcast. I said, "That's your Wi-Fi." That's all you, baby.
Oh my God.
Sometimes she works from home, so it's like a dedicated server. I'm like, "Oh no, that's all you." I said, "I'm over here with Verizon. Everything works. I'm streaming movies."
Does she have problems with Comcast?
It's endless.
See, thank you. I'm telling you,
it's endless. She's kind of reviewing. My wife works in a lab, right? So there's a lot of proprietary stuff. It has to be read through certain like secure cloud server.
Forget
or whatever.
about security. It's the fact that it even works.
Well, I just want to say this real quick. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but guess what my internet service provider is? It's Comcast. I'm just saying, it's Comcast. I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's Comcast.
Now let me ask you a question though. In your area, do you have another choice?
No. Like other people do, but I live in an apartment complex and they got like it's Comcast or bust.
No. Okay, so that's different. That's different than the question I was asking.
Yeah.
I was asking.
There are two choices here in my town. Yeah. If you live 20 minutes out, like if you live like on the outskirts of town, you have one choice. And it's a different choice than the two we have here in town. But it's a whole game they like to play in it with the cable companies and the internet companies and like they're exclusive here and this and that. It's like price fixing. It's not cool, man.
I read that about that situation years ago. A lot of countries have universal. Okay, Taiwan has one handful of standard providers. But the way it kind of broke out in the United States, I heard, correct, Marcus, they kind of carved up the nation but amongst themselves and left you no real choice. So what's happening now, obviously, with
this is like wrestling before Vince McMahon came in and changed it all, right?
Everybody gets territories.
Yeah. So now it's changing because you can get it through your obsolete, cell kind of Wi-Fi service. So you got Verizon offering it. I was one of the early ones with T-Mobile. Actually, I was way early.
Oh, that's right. You have the thing too, right?
I was with Clear Channel when they did it. And so they're losing the physical cable companies are losing their hold. But in our area, we were cornered by Comcast. You had no option, and they could treat you like garbage all the time.
That's exactly how I got that Verizon thing in my house. Because my wife was dealing with Comcast and she's trying to explain this and that. And there's like a code she has to give them because she has part of our Wi-Fi protected or whatever. Her company is involved. And I just heard the tone of the guy's voice. And she put the guy on hold and I picked up the phone. And I said, I'm listening to this call. And if this call is being recorded for quality control, I want whoever listens to this to know this representative is responsible for me going to Verizon. And then I put the phone back on hold. And my wife was like, did you say that for real? I said, yep. So when she gets back on the phone, she's like, hello. And that day I drove down to the Verizon on Route 73, like 10 minutes from my house. And I said, I want Wi-Fi, just like that. And the girl looks at me and she's like, I can help you, sir. Come on in. And it was this, that. I put an app on my phone. Bing, bing, bing. I'm set up. And I'm like,
let me tell you, before they did their whole Xfinity makeover, okay, as they realized their monopoly was coming to an end, and they refurbished it, with couches and stuff. The Comcast office in our area prior to the whole Xfinity makeover, they had more security than the bank. Okay. You would go in and exchange your box, and all the employees were behind bulletproof glass.
Oh yeah, you would have thought they
And
had
you had
diamonds in there.
You had that little door thing where you slide something through and it shuts. You can't, and then they open it and pull it out. That's how Comcast worked. Now, I gotta ask you a question.
I absolutely like TJ James' explanation of Wolverine's claws.
I came up with that explanation. I came up with that explanation at the beginning of the show. I just want everybody to know. I got no prize, TJ. I'm sorry. I'll share it with you. I'll send it to you every other week. We'll just like swap.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta give Robbie kudos for that one. But they used to have. I would go to the bank and they wouldn't have a bulletproof glass, and they have actual money in there.
Yeah, money.
So
valuables.
how PO'd are people at Comcast that they felt like, yeah, we got to protect our employees by putting the customers behind bulletproof glass? That shows you exactly what they thought. Okay, until they started losing their market share, and then they, come join us, sit on our couch at Xfinity.
Oh, cool. Jay just popped it up there tonight
Ooh,
on
yes. What's
Horror
up tonight,
Fest.
buddy?
Robbie's doing Dawn of the Dead, the Argento cut.
Yes, so we're doing George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead from 1978, but in particular, we're doing the Dario Argento European cut, a little bit shorter, more goblin music, less comedy, more horror, and tonight we're going to be talking about how that version stacks up against the original. So there you go. It's going to be a great show. Horror Fest continues, y'all.
So, Jay, what do we have on the XP?
We're going to take a little bit of a break, and then at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, we're going to have the Devil's Advocates, but we don't know if we're going to have Bronze Age Nerd because he might be meeting with Jason Momoa today. So
wait, what?
If he doesn't show up, he's gonna go meet Jason Momoa. So we'll see.
See, Rex, what you don't realize is that's code for that he uses Comcast as well. And
I
so
was
he
going
doesn't.
to say, that's something it's code to me. I'm sorry. We
Gotcha, Jay. If Jason Momoa doesn't pick up, gotcha.
You can't see me winking back here, but yeah.
I'm going to use that for everything. Hey, where were you? Hanging with Jason Momoa. Were you not paying attention?
Me, it's Dwayne The Rock Johnson, actually. That's my code.
My code is Fiona Dourif. So.
Oh, see, that one I believe, though, with my whole heart.
All right, so you're
Robbie be like 30 seconds
You're trying
late.
the Travis Kelce method, right?
Oh, I hope so.
You never know, bro. You never know. Hey,
I've
I've already reached out on her on socials. I'm just waiting for her to notice. Anyway.
Oh, wait, here she is. Can you please text Robbie?
Yes, good hair.
It's like when you meet somebody at summer camp and you have like a little summer fling for like the week, and then you're like, please write me back.
No, write you back. I don't know how to spell your last name.
Well, that and the fact she gave Robbie like a fake address. So
hey, I'm gonna shoot her a DM and let her know that if she's going out with Robbie, she's got a shot to making the show.
You called him your friend, dude. Why are you trying to mess up his life? Okay, do not
just
do
wait
that.
till y'all see me on Chucky season 4, y'all, and then you're gonna be like, whoa.
I know. See, that's Robbie.
Yeah, we'll be like,
as the barber.
Who's that dude with good hair?
He's Chucky's barber. I gotta talk to you about hair, Chucky.
Oh my god,
dude! The true story. My friend did not have a date to the junior prom, and he was petrified to ask a girl, and he really liked this girl. And the girl was sitting at the lunch table with us, and he's whispering to me the whole time, like. And I was even more of a jerk at like 15 and 16 than I am now.
Possible.
Oh yeah, it was. And I looked and I said, I just looked at her like this, and I said, Diana. And she looked up and said, what? I said, do you want to go to the prom with them? And you have never heard a cafeteria instantly become quiet in your life. And everyone went, oh. And he literally slid from his chair and tried to roll away. And somebody from like the other side of the cafeteria went, that means no.
Oh, that's rough. How's that guy doing now? How's his life turned out? That's what I wonder.
We see him on visiting day, and
he's got debilitating anxiety. He doesn't like to talk to people.
John
he's
Cole.
like the moth character in Watchmen.
He sees you and he just like runs away. He's just like, no, not that guy. He ruined my life.
Yeah. Well, I ruined his high school career, but he had a very successful job. He's
Oh, he just hangs out with Jason Momoa now, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
I got you. All right.
Momoa now, not me.
Oh my God!
I get Rex. He gets Jason Momoa. So who really won high school?
Be nicer in your past. That's all I can tell you. All right, so check out Robbie PCP tonight for Horror Fest. And
somebody find the money to buy this book, man. This thing that Mariano did is too cool.
Well, we're gonna if it clearly it's in selling tonight, so we're gonna have it back on Wednesday.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
right.
pop that back up, man.
We will definitely have it back on Wednesday. We'll be back on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and then Robbie and I will be back on PCP on Friday at noon Eastern, and of course Nick will be here on Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time for his original art show, and usually some great pieces, all up and down the line, affordable pieces to the.
Yeah, he really does sort of have, that stuff that's entry level, and then he has the sort of, big boy baller type stuff.
All right, so Marcus, so far we're still doing summer hours. We'll let you know when that adjusts or changes or whatever. I'll make sure to let everybody know. But again, as always, it's a great community. Mariano skipped out.
Do you blame him?
Well, he said something about you, but whatever. So he.
Seriously, thanks everybody for joining us.
Yeah, and thank you, Mariano, for showing us what.
Thanks, Robbie, for I got to tell you right now, if I was texting with Fiona Dorff, you would not be seeing me at all on this show.
Well, I
appreciate Robbie taking a couple hours out.
What I can guarantee you, Robbie, is you will have no shot. Okay? So be thankful he doesn't have her phone number. He can't DM her.
We got a mystery episode of Devil's Advocates tonight
at 9 Eastern. So
Robbie doing the better cut of Dawn of the Dead. We'll put it that way.
So, but thank you, everyone. As always, I love this group. Love everybody in it. Best time of my day. All right. So be well.
Yeah, this is top 5 for me for my day.
I can't even come up with 5. I've got movies and streaming and food. That's 3. So I don't know what else you do in a day.
On that note, we'll say goodnight to everybody, and we'll see you all on Wednesday.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.